So anyway, here's my take on UFOs and ETs. Me personally, I do believe that there are extraterrestrial beings coming to visit planet Earth. Me personally, because I have had a UFO sighting when I was about 9 years old. Like, it was like during the summertime, say like around July or August. So yeah, and I had my we had like the windows open because we wanted to let the cool air in during the nighttime, so so the house would be cool because we didn't have AC at the time. So so yeah, I was on my bed, and I'm lying on my side, but I'm wide awake. It was around maybe 11:30, midnight or something. And then, out of nowhere, hold on, let me show you. I see, like, these deep fluorescent, glowing yellow discs, something like this. And then they pass by, and so they're making like this kind of movement. Like that, and there were like 3 or 4 of them. So, at first I'm thinking, whoa, the moon is acting pretty fucking weird tonight. And so I realized, wait a second, the moon's not even out. And it didn't take too long to realize that I saw something that just wasn't normal at all. So I just completely freaked out, and I ran to my mother's bedroom, and then I told her about what I saw. All she can say was, interesting. But, and then I was tired, I was falling asleep, and it was like really late, so I went to bed, and then the next morning she pointed out that I saw something, and then she said, oh, it could have been anything. It could have been a helicopter looking for somebody. And I'm like, this thing made no sound, and they were going too fast to be helicopters. So, yeah. And at the time, I was like 9 years old. I didn't know anything about UFOs or ETs, and I didn't know anything about that. And then when I was like 10, I watched the program Unsolved Mysteries, and the one where it was narrated by Robert Stack. And then there was a episode where it talked about the UFO sightings over Brussels in Belgium. And it talked about, it was like this triangular shape. It had like a light in each corner of the triangle with a bright light in the center. And there was this sighting all over the city of Brussels, all over Belgium, but mostly in Brussels. And then they talked about how the Belgian Air Force, they had 2 pilots in F-16s to seek and identify the objects. And then it talked about how they caught the radar. They caught the object on their radar on their F-16s. And then they found that the object on radar, it descended from 3,000 meters to 1,700 meters in 1 second. And that would have instantaneously killed a human pilot. No human being on planet Earth would have survived the G-forces on that. So yeah, it is definitely plausible to possess the technology to bend time and space, something called a wormhole. Now let me describe. A wormhole is like a hole in space that bends space and time. Okay. I'm going to demonstrate to you. This is a wormhole. And this over here is your spaceship. Okay? So, and then here we have space and time, this whole sheet of paper. So what you're going to do, you're going to fold this, and this is what a wormhole does. Let's say that this is point A, from our solar system, to point B, to another solar system. So, the result, the spacecraft ended up to point B. And that's how a wormhole works. So, yeah, they probably used that technology to get from one solar system to another. But, unfortunately, in Einstein's so-called law or theory or whatever, it dictates that nothing can exceed 186,000 miles a second, which is the speed of light. Therefore, it travels 6 trillion miles in 1 year. So that's called a light year. So according to what he says, is that it would take us long ass time to reach even the closest star system. So yeah, but you know, they've said, like, back in the Dark Ages, they said that the Earth was flat and it was round, and that everything revolved around the Earth, that the Earth was the center of the solar system. And then came along Vespucci, who proved wrong. The Earth is round. And then along came Copernicus, proved that the Earth, the Sun, not the Earth, was the center of the solar system. Hence the heliocentric universe. So, and then you got people in the old days saying that flight was impossible. Now we're having airplanes flying around. They said that aquatic vehicles, namely the nuclear-powered submarine, is impossible. Now we got nuclear-powered subs in the Navy. It said that space travel was impossible, and now you got space shuttles circling planet Earth. So who are we to say that it's impossible? Who are we to say that it is that it's not plausible at all? And they probably have that they're more advanced than us. They're a more older civilization than we are. But you think to yourself, if they're so advanced, why don't they come out and present themselves and say, here we are? Well, for one, they probably realize because the human race isn't quite ready for first contact. Because of the way, how primitive we are. Because of, look at the way how we treat each other, and look at the way how we treat the planet. And with all the weapons of mass destructions and whatnot. So it might be a good idea that ETs don't have first contact, because it's not ready, because the human race is very, very destructive. Not to mention, according to Carl Sagan, he says the less advanced race is either wiped out or enslaved by the advanced race, namely Cortez and the Aztecs, or the Mayans. And also there was a site that a friend of mine told me. It's called cracked.com, and it talks about like 5 insane theories about why we haven't discovered alien life. First one was that there might be too alien, meaning they might exist in some form of energy or communicate through some other method that is beyond our comprehension, thus too alien from us. Second one was they may not want to intervene with the natural evolution and development of our race. In other words, they're afraid they're going to mess us up. The third is we're so primitive that they may not have any interest in us. We don't have really advanced technology as they do. We don't have the capacity to cure the most terminal illnesses, namely cancer, and let alone we don't have the capability for interstellar travel. And the human race might be extinct by the time aliens come to visit Earth. And the fifth one is they might not even exist because, well, it's a plausibility. I'm not saying that they don't, because I do believe they do, but according to what the site said, they may not exist because it's like 1 out of a million chance. It's like winning the lottery or getting struck by lightning. That there's like complex life that supports sentient beings such as us. And if Earth is too close to the sun, it would fry like a potato, and then no life could exist. If it was too far, then we'd freeze, and then life wouldn't exist either. So, according to what it said, life is very, very, very touchy. You gotta really, really, really know when is the good time, where's the good, the perfect location, the perfect distance. So yeah. So anyway, that's my take, and yeah, and I'd like to hear your opinions, your thoughts, video responses, comments, questions, whatever, and yeah, take care.